Hello everyone and welcome back to the Bushcraft channel. Okay, so I'm going to do a little comparison today, a few little tests. I've got this Roselli axe here. It's not the original handle. There's a short version and a long version. The handle is a similar size to the long version. It's been re-hafted. The edge on it's pretty good. It's a very old axe. The sheath's a bit battered but still kind of functions. The cutting edge can sometimes poke out the top a little bit, but yeah, I'm going to compare that to the cold steel trail hawk. So this is my axe of choice for camping, hiking, because of the weight. To my mind, for a general purpose axe, about a 600mm handle or a bit longer, so that's 2 foot, 24 inches, whatever. A little bit of weight to it, something like this, pardon the crappy cover, something like this Holtz Brooks is great, but you don't really want to be carrying that for any long distance. So yeah, I like the thinner bit of this one. It penetrates the wood quite nicely. The size of both of these is a little bit of a drawback. I do find the trail steel tomahawk a little bit clumsy, but you can get a really good swing and it bites quite deeply. The one thing that I think this is going to do much better at is splitting. You can see the difference in the thickness. That's really quite abrupt. And the issue with the trail hawk is it penetrates up to that point there, and then because of the way it flares out round the eye, it stops. So not a great splitter. The thing is, this is so abrupt, if you don't get a good swing, it'll bounce. Okay, so it is sticking in the wood a little, but it's getting there. The biggest tree I've cut with this thing was 30 centimetres, so a foot in diameter, pine tree. It took a while, but it got there. So I find for limbing, this thing works absolutely fantastic. So, weight comparison, I'll find out the weight and put it in the description. But this does have, the Roselli does have a little bit more weight to it, but a shorter handle. And that's not biting anywhere near as deep. So that was three strikes. Let's have a look at the difference. Okay. There you see the Roselli on the left and the cold steel on the right, and the cold steel has been biting quite a lot deeper. As we've seen though, it does have a tendency to stick. Let's go and split something. There's a lovely splitting block here somewhere. God knows where. There's my old shaving horse. Be able to use that again soon. Everything's starting to melt now. Let's see how we do at carving a flat. Whee! God. Okay, the thing is I'm balancing right on the edge here because I've got nails in this piece of wood that I'm trying to avoid. But it's also a bit icy. Okay, so the Roselli actually feels a little bit more controlled. I find I can make actually really quite nice feathers with the trail hawk. Wait, if I can keep them on the stick. Okay, that's not bad. And I have been finding with this thing, when I've used it in the past, that it's not very good for fine work, but it punches above its weight when it comes to things that are a little bit more brutal. Let's try here. Totally different edge geometry. Okay, I'm getting the hang of it now. Okay, so I definitely found the cold steel easier. The curls do seem to be a little bit better from the Roselli. He don't generally use an axe for feather sticks, I know, but nice to be able to do it. And now I've got the hang of the angle a little bit. Roselli seems to be doing actually quite well. Yeah. Okay, quite surprised at that. Now, I've tried using this for, well, I've tried using both of these for spoon carving, and I was expecting that this would be a lot better, but because of the abrupt angle. But as we've seen it carves the flat pretty well. I mean, I think the trail hook was removing more material, but this just felt more controlled. And let's find that piece of wood again. Yeah, it just felt more controlled. Yeah, you can see the cuts are more even, maybe you can see. Whereas that's a bit more random. Yeah. Let's see if we can split this thing. Shall we stand it up? Is that dangerous? That's dangerous. Let's put it on there. Okay. That did some damage. Please don't smash the camera. See, it's not really penetrating because it's so abrupt, but when it does that. Whereas this is half the size. Aha, that worked. The wood's half the size, I meant to say, not the axe. Let's have a look at these two together. So this is the 15.5 by Kelakowski from the 1940s. 15.2, sorry. Yeah, 15.2. And this is the modern day Roselli. They both have the collar. This one has got the cutaway, obviously. A bit of a beard. Looks a bit more Viking. They're both quite abrupt in the bit. This one I really don't use very much. It's nice to use it occasionally. I thought it would make a nice carving axe, but I would like it to be a little bit thinner in the bit for that. It's great for splitting, but it's not something I really want to use very, very roughly. Yeah. Okay, so this is a work axe. And the differences between these two? Well, here in Finland, this is about half the price. So that's quite a big difference for me. This actually felt a lot more controlled. And I think a lot of the reason for that is the handle. It's not the original handle, but it's a proper handle. Whereas this is just a stick. It's oval shaped, and it's not awful, but it's not ideal. The hammer pull on this is much more useful for things like tent pegs. I mean, that's really tiny. It'd work, but you know, you could bang nails in with that and all kinds. I've never actually banged nails in with this, but you could do. But I would guess that in other countries other than Finland, this would be even more expensive. And the cold steel coming from Taiwan would probably be cheaper. Most things are cheaper outside of Finland. So they're both good axes. If you want something that's cheap, you could also consider maybe the Fiskars X7, which is a good little axe, or maybe, as if you want something higher end, maybe the Gransfors Brooks, what's it called, the outdoor axe, yeah, which is one that I've never used, but yeah, worth looking into perhaps. Yeah, but how much do you really want to pay for tools that do quite a similar job? The performance wasn't massively different. This definitely bites deeper, sticks a little bit. This is kind of a little nicer to use. Also, another thing is this is a lot better maintained. I mean, this has got, it is fairly sharp. But yeah, I mean, this is a work tool. This isn't my axe. This belongs to the farm. All of the axes here are maintained by me, but really abused by everybody else. So yeah, another advantage of this is being able to just take this off. You know, that means you've got something you can use for prying bark, and that's another thing I like about this tomahawk. It does have to go back on in the same direction, which is why I've cut that little arrow into the top of it. Yeah, so maybe not entirely a fair comparison. This isn't the original handle, but yeah, I think this is a nicer tool. And if you're in Finland, it is nicer to buy Finnish. But this is a little bit lighter and a hell of a lot cheaper. So that's why I use this axe. I also have quite a number of old Finnish collared axes, all apart from the one I've just shown you. They're all quite substantially heavier than this, which is why I carry this. And yeah, the 15.2, 15.5, that one is just such a nice little axe. I don't really want to take it into the forest and bury it into big old chunks of fat wood where there might be rocks wedged in, and yeah, I'm gentle with that one. Anyway, give us a thumbs up, please subscribe if you haven't done already, and I'll see you all again soon for another Googly Bushcraft video. Bye for now.